Abel Bryson, and if you're ever in my arms again, 98.7 The Cove, great music for the lake life. It's Friday, July the 16th, the 9 o'clock hour of the Cove Morning Show. I'm John the Rogger, and it's time for us to dive into the Cove and talk to our local movers and shakers across the community. And joining us now in the Cove is the one and only kind of the voice of the Lake of the Ozarks in some ways. It's Mr. Ray Speckman. He's been around with us at the KRMS studios for many, many years. He's a fixture here in the city of Versailles. And Ray, my friend, how on earth are you doing?
Doing just fine. I'm living in sin with the most wonderful lady in the world, Joyce Mitchell, here in Houston.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I'm so glad that, we get a chance to talk to you. It's been a long time since you and I have talked, and, we used to talk back in my days of the Ozarks Today. And so, Ray, what we're going to talk about today is a new book you just released that's now out, and folks can get. It's an e-book called The Conspiracy at Lake of the Ozarks, and it's about a casino coming to the lake. Can you kind of give us an idea of what this book is all about, Ray?
Yes, it is about two young men from the lake area, one from Bromley and one from Bagnall, who are very bright people, and they get involved in politics. They get a constitutional amendment passed allowing a casino at the lake, and one is elected governor and the other one is elected attorney general. And this is about all the shenanigans and nefarious activities between competing people for the license and some struggles between areas at the lake that are applied. In the book, there are three areas that did apply. One in the Lake Ozark area that combined with Osage Beach, another in Camdenton area that is old Kinderhook, and another one in Laurie, which is at the park in Laurie. They were vying; those are the places that in the book are vying for the location, and there are several less than nice people and companies that are vying for the license to operate the lucrative first casino at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Ray, did you come up with this idea? Is it part true, part fiction? What's the background behind it?
The background behind it is there's always been, as you know, an underlying current of people that wanted to build a casino at the Lake of the Ozarks because of the restrictions, which number one is it had to be on navigable streams, and number two, the number was limited, and I talked about that in the book, or some about that in the book. It's a historically based novel. The history is true. The rest of it came out of my mind.
I like that. That sounds good. Hey, we're talking with Ray Speckman here about his new book, Conspiracy at Lake of the Ozarks and the Coming of a Casino. Ray, can you stay with us through the break? We'll talk some more about it in our next break.
Sure can.
We'll get more from Ray Speckman about his new book, Conspiracy at Lake of the Ozarks, in just a moment. Coming up, more great music on the way next from Mike and the Mechanics, Jackson Brown, and Ron Isley will kick it off with Anyone Who Had a Heart on 98.7 The Cove. That's Passenger and Let Her Go, 98.7 The Cove. Great music for the lake life. It's John the Rogger in the Cove Morning Show. We're still in the Cove right now talking to our one and only Ray Speckman, who just authored the book Conspiracy at Lake of the Ozarks, talking about a casino coming to town. And Ray, thanks for sticking with us to our next break. Folks are really excited to hear about this new book from you. And I got to tell you, when we talk about casinos coming to Lake of the Ozarks, that's been a discussion that's been ongoing for many, many years now.
Yes, it always has. There was a place there on the strip called a casino, but that was just the name of a business. People get that confused. And also there were some backrooms activities, as there were in a lot of other places along the strip area after the dam was built.
Hey, talk a little bit more about the historical part of this book. You mentioned, of course, that some of it is fiction, some of it is nonfiction, but the historical part also includes some background that you know about when it comes to some banks in the community.
I began to think about the history that I had done on the true history of Lake of the Ozarks, such as how the Bank of the Ozarks began, origins from the Brumley Bank, and how that came about, and how fortunes were made and dreams were killed by a group of men who met at round table at the Arrowhead Lodge back right after the dam and for several years after the dam was built. And so that was called the good old boys era, but at the same time, it created a seed in my mind that brought about, okay, who's going to compete for this lucrative license based on the history of the Lake of the Ozarks that was already there. And that's included in the book.
And Ray, if folks wanted to download this book, where can you find it?
They are ebooks, and they are on Amazon Kindle and Smashwords and Kobo. They're on several other sites besides that, but those are the most popular. You go to any one of those sites, Amazon Kindle or Kobo or Smashwords, and type in books by Ray Speckman, and those will show up.
Ray Speckman and his new book, Conspiracy at Lake of the Ozarks. You can find out more details on our Facebook page at facebook.com/98.7 The Cove. And it's very exciting, Ray. It's so good to talk to you again, man, and I'm so glad to hear that you're doing well, and I look forward to getting a chance to speak to you again soon.
Thank you, John. Best of luck to you and your family.
That's Ray Speckman, our guest here in The Cove. And when we come back from our break, we got more great music on the way next from Chris DeBro, All for One, Mindy Abater, and Engelbert Humperdinck with After the Lovin', 98.7 The Cove.